Okay. So, yeah, so I wanted to kind of go over uh, a certain topic that I think is really uh, relevant to me and something that I've been kind of struggling with for a long time now. Um, and that topic is overthinking. And I have actually a definition for that popped up on my computer here. So it says overthinking is an exhausting mental habit of analyzing situations, replaying past events, or worrying about the future without reaching a useful solution. Uh, yeah, that's and so my version of overthinking is basically kind of thinking about the past, present, and the future all at once. That's because and that's kind of like that's where because it kind of causes you not to like make like a certain decision. Like for me, for example, whenever I tend to overthink things, like I tend to go over the same like I tend to go over like the same thing over and over and over again, where I have all these random thoughts that keep popping up of like what I could have done or what I could have said, you know, or what I forgot to say, like for example in the past tense, or in the future tense, where it's like I worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, or how am I going to prepare for tomorrow or the future, and then there's also the present of making a decision of like choosing, like if I'm taking an exam, right, like say it's multiple choice, like I'm taking, I'm jotting down this answer, but then I also think this answer is also the best possible answer because it's multiple choice, right? It's an exam. And so it kind of causes you kind of be in that fight or flight mode. And I am I'm somewhat like in the middle, you know, like I should go for it, but at the same time it's like I kind of pull back from it. So that's that's always been like a huge thing of mine because I tend to really get into thought about about pretty much like making decisions in life, and it it does cause a lot of a lot of emotional stress. Like it does drain you, and so usually the reason why I do it overthink a lot is because I'm not very confident in decisions that I make. I'm not very very you know driven. Like I'm not very like sure or certain of my answers or certain of myself, because what if the other person knows more? Like what if that person has a lot of info and a lot more, a lot of like experience. Maybe that person might have more experience than me, because because I'm I'm kind of new to to a lot of things. And so uh, that's why I never like to kind of prove that I'm right. Although at times, like if I ever do get into an argument, I kind of want to be right rather than just actually just being right, so that's why I kind of hate confrontation, because you kind of have to be on the winning end. Like you have to win. And that's because it kind of feels like that. Like you have to win an argument, right? You have to kind of convince the other person that you're right. And so uh, that's why I kind of tend to shy away from that, because I'm not really like someone that's very you know driven to to what I think is what I think is actually right. and that's why I kind of overthink things a lot. Like maybe I could be right, and maybe I could be right in, in those arguments, and I just don't know it. But the other person is like kind of making you feel like that you're not right, and this doesn't have to go with like arguments, just about arguments, but it can pretty much be about everything. But I use arguments in this case as a big example, because that's usually kind of like, because it's usually kind of like where like a lot of my my thoughts kind of come in, and I kind of have to like how to find a way out of this, kind of find a solution, and so that's why I'm usually that's why it's kind of hard for me to be sharp as a even as a student at school, or it's hard for me to kind of remember things I kind of like have I kind of have a short memory span. um so that's kind of like that's kind of like one disadvantage of struggling with overthinking, is like you kind of have like a very short, you have very limited span of memorizing things, and it kind of makes you kind of like second guess yourself a lot. And so that's something that that's something that I'm trying to learn how to get better in. It's something like I'm trying to learn how to like memorize stuff, like trying to like try to actually like work at it, and not just like like if I'm studying for something, like I'm not just gonna like know it for like kind of like chunk it down at the last minute. Like it's something that's got to be like practiced beforehand in advance, and not just like at the last minute. Otherwise you can never know that you'll do well on the exam or not. And even even with the jobs that I had, like as a I remember I was a sales rep at one moment, and I was I had to memorize all the different like prices for like these phones, and compare them, and show the value to the customer. And like it was kind of hard for me at first, like the first couple of weeks, and luckily I was still able to like luckily that they showed me some grace, and I tried to get better at it. But that was just one of those instances where I just had to like kind of know it right off the dot, and so right on the spot. So and also one of the other things that that comes as a disadvantage with overthinking is also actively listening. I do struggle with like paying attention to certain things, and so that's why for me, I'm I mean, I'm a visual learner. I usually see things first before I can actually do it myself, and that's why I'm also like a very huge note taker. Like I write notes like crazy, like on my phone, like on my app, the Notes app. I write everything down, like even if it's like a small little thing, a small little like quote, like I just write it all down so that I can be able to use it in the future, like when I'm at work. And so that's what kind of sort of helped me out with with having a job. And so um and so yeah, that's and also like especially with like multitasking, because like this is where like the overthinking is at like my at my peak. It's like basically you have to kind of think about you have to have common sense when it comes to like when it comes to maintaining a job, right? Like you gotta have to know what to do in this situation, or when to call your boss when you need help, or when to like wait for your boss to respond back to you whenever you're helping with a customer, like, or just like knowing what do you do in this situation, like going back to your to your knowledge, your product knowledge, whatever you want to call it. Like that's like another thing about it. It's like it's for someone who has like, very like very like someone who just like kind of struggles in just like, living life in general, like I think it's very easy to kind of go through like, like a mental loop over and over and over again, and it takes like a certain thing to like it's certain just pretty much like something to kind of like keep you from further going down that rabbit hole. And for me it's like, I try to do like, other things. Like I try to like get exercise, throughout the, like throughout the week. I try to go out more, don't be in the house all day, because there's really, nothing to do besides, work out and take care of your chores at home and eat. That's pretty much it. But yeah, it definitely does drain you a lot. It and not only that, but it also like it also takes a lot of your time. Like it does take a lot of it makes you waste time. And so because you're spending so much time on one little thing when you could be, moving on to the next one, the next question, or the next, task. That's another thing. Like, like during exams, like I would waste all the time in the world just trying to like on like even on one question, it was definitely like, it's definitely what cost me, like the exams. And I mean, it's something that it's definitely not healthy. It's you kind of put like, like a huge like like worry limit on yourself, right? Like, because for me, like I try like I either on a like I keep running into this. It's like running into the same wall over and over and over again, right? Like, like you can just, you could just walk around it, but instead you kind of want to just like punch through it, right? And it's and it hurts, right? Like doing the same thing, like over and over and over again, and you're not like, looking for a solution around it. And so it's like, like, and it almost gets you to like, to think, what's the point, you know? Um, and because I'm not like someone that, tries to kind of find a way. I'm not someone that tries to like, take the easy way out, right? I'm trying to find a way out, and it, and it just like, and every time I can't find that way out, like every time I can't find it, it's like just screw it. Like, I'm not gonna do like I'm not gonna take this, like it's like I just want to walk away, But I guess that's sort of similar to taking the easy way out. But like that's how I feel. That's just how I think. Like, and so sorry, there's like a bunch of stuff on my shirt. It's like you want to find a way out. You want to be, you want to find something. Hold on, let me just get a drink of water because I think I'm kind of on a broken record here. But it's like you just want to kind of be your own person. Like you want to be a problem solver, and for someone who's trying to go into healthcare, there's a lot of problem solving that's involved, like how to find where to find the pain, and how to like what's like a proper treatment to alleviate that pain or to prevent any further pain, uh that's it, and with problem solving, it comes with a lot of skills behind it. Like you need to develop the ability to adapt, to develop leadership skills, to to kind of to multitask. It's a big multitask is definitely a big one that I struggle with. It's like doing certain things doing certain things all at once by in and it's mostly due to me like not doing one thing at a time, and that, and also like uh always being communicated with with other people about it. So that's one of them. um Being able to you know obviously being able to talk to people, learning how to be like social. And I would say I am kind of social, although like it's very easy for me to stumble in my words, as you can tell. So I have to talk. I usually talk like very. I'm either very slow, or I'm either am I either taking a long time for me to say what I want to say next. And so that's because I have a lot of like thoughts, in my brain, and so I'm trying to find the right, you know, I'm trying to find the right words to say. And so and it's hard, for me, because it's I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I don't want what I want to say, what I really want to say, to be left out, because it's like you feel like you could have said this, or why did you say that in the first place, right? That's kind of like what overthinking is. It's kind of like you're your own you're your own audience, you know. You're the first person to judge yourself. And uh, so that's kind of like my my take on overthinking, is like you have all these thoughts that are of no use to you, no benefit to you, and yet you still do it because of how you view yourself, or how you view the world even. And so that's it's kind of like what I wanted to share. I didn't want to make this video too long, but but that's kind of like what I wanted to share.